the Yerko NDC one quarter because the Deputy Director of Oil Election and IT, Abakamensa, Doc Rashid Tanko-Computer. Doc, Akwaba.
Yeah. It is a
Yamia don't patch on so.
Boko.
Yeah, the Ankopana say, me just there. When you got the call to come for the show, this was not an issue, Anawaba.
Yes.
But I haven't heard it. I reckon perhaps maybe our Peru's document, you've had opportunity to look at the issues surrounding it. What do you make of it?
Very well. I was having a program when I got this information about this OSP thing, so I took time to go through it. Me share document, me reading the haven't read it clearly. To me, it's not news. It's something we knew long ago that it was just red herring that was being bandied around by the MPP. I mean, on him say time bia mo pede say John Mahama were corrupt. That's what they want to put on him, trying to force something on him which was not sticking. So they continue singing that song. Look, all this OSP thing, establishing the 2017 was because of John Dramani Mahama. That was their intention. And also your friend Papa say your former Attorney General Martin Amidu to come and do their bidding. Little did they know that Martin is above what they were forcing him to do. They tried everything to force him to just come and say that John Mahama was corrupt and to prosecute him, so that they will go on that tangent to say, well, it is even your own person who has prosecuted you and all that. But Martin was above that, their tricks. He looked at them as non-entities. That's why he described them as a mother serpent of all corruption. He ended up describing the MPP administration, Nanado, as a mother serpent and left their job for them. So they brought their own person. Well, Kisia Jeben is known to be one of them. It's their own people. And you saw what the write-up, the report, snipers of it. They couldn't find anything. He traveled across the globe. He went to FBI, he went to CIA, he went to Metropolis in London. I mean, to gather evidence and all these things. And it ended up that there was nothing untoward, completely nothing. And so clearly they had no option than to exonerate His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He's clean. You see, he's God, the God of John Dramani Mahama is alive. And he has seen it today. It is their own people. And the man had no option because John is as clean as ice.
I see.
Very clean. One of the most credible politicians you can see in Africa as of now is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
I see.
He's known across. His peers in the sub-region will tell you.
Okay, Doc, hold on now. Christopher Mwakon in the northern part of this oil country. Chris, Momo Akwaba. Chris, in the Yenyan and say that Yenyanu Muslimi for all the northern part of Ghana were special prayers. What exactly informed that special prayers and why?
Yes, and the Muslims now more Greater Tamale Metropolis. A special prayers they requested ensure every onyankopon enchain. Na nya and say be busumi nyenu ni training enya dia ensure ato northern region ntiama ekuafo no ba any it's been affected and we see we share abro omodua they are brewing na afei almost anka trace nsuo beto ama atumi ado omunfuo no they almost ntumi and on abro de enrube 15th of July enya de obetest me aye hu kwi manunti eno na ema Muslims who are more greater Tamale metropolis ene omo koye Airbus no ko e de esre nyankopɔ sɛ ohun efiafo mo na oma do ento ema.
Chris, issue no, how serious is it? Is it that in Sunibi ato and away jay ana over the period I reckon 3 months non cry, and if it doesn't rain ramification it's then Ozama, the people in the north and Ghana as a whole.
It's very serious because this year and rainy season in Suno but a drew baby no may mu honom no edibedru eneno enya dia so papa bia ato there are places that for the past 2 months enya dia ntuba mpo ato mo enu ntino ama like I said eduane a like abro nkate ne other eduane a wodua enya dia eye kra because ni nyina afi as say ka say dia hwe ya ekom kese pa e na beto so.
Now, and you want to kasa? What is the feeling like that we know Aban Kade because of some of these issues? In Su Oya Yensan County, one village, one dam will be done for them. What happened to that?
Oh, as for the one village, one dam conversation, we can't have it now because already we've done series of stories indicating, say, the one village, one dam program. No, yeah, the communities are benefiting from it, especially the farmers. Most of them, no, and yet dam, the grader just went and graded the place, and there is a pit, and so it doesn't even qualify to be a dam. So that conversation, I know it's something that. Everyone I care for. All people need now is for God to open the floodgates. Now, Oman you and yes, they are come there, northern part of the country. They are better because over 90% of crops now, my dear, as it stands now, they are wilting away. We can so almost can consume for almost majority.
I see. In recent time, is this the first time? And in recent past, is this the first time BBD already see for them to go the extra mile of oil congregating to offer prayer to the Almighty Allah?
Yes, so 4 years ago, a similar incident happened. Every year, in parts of July, we are even though the rainy season starts from June and then July, August, September, October. But this year, from May, June, July, the people are feeling the impact.
I see. Chris, young fancy. Interesting times ahead. Nti Christopher Amoakon, Onua FM reporter in the northern part of this country, and I see the engineers in Komono. Now, also the situation is very dire. Actually, 3 months in soon try. One we do one and it's our show, and it's very serious. We are hoping and praying that after the special prayer in the things will return to normalcy for them to experience the rains. Now we tuna one do as one waba. I don't want to retain Onua 95.1 FM. This is the biggest podcast talk show. Jumezini Apaimukan from Henry and then Dr. Rashid or Tanko-Computer needs in Commodore. Mensanamo Aquababu na earlier we were trying to talk about the issue of Airbus no. And you think around that time 2020 no.
Yes.
No, a deliberate.
Or may a cook story. They will just cook that story.
It can be cooked because there are documentation to it that there was investigation both in UK and US. Though specific names were not mentioned. But OSP bringing finality to it has now mentioned names of which the then MPP were raising that the individual in question government official one near John Dramani Mahama. And of course, OSP has said yes.
We are saying that was a figment of their own imagination. They just put those things there. The London court was not investigating John Dramani Mahama or any of these people. They never said they were investigating.
It
was Airbus issue. And it has to do with Airbus company. They are dealing in Africa and then Asia.
Yeah.
That was what they were investigating. They were not investigating particular Ghana or Ghanaian officials. This story was cooked by the MPP for campaign purposes to tarnish the image of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. That was just their thinking. And the media should have scrutinized them then. But you allow them to get away with it. Now,
don't you think the media did? Because the media did in the sense that, yes, it was true that the investigation was centered around Airbus and their dealings in Africa. But since government officials' names were not names per se, but the nation Ghana was mentioned in the document, and officials from Ghana were in that document, I mean, it was...
Of course, what we are saying is that Airbus cannot operate with private people in the country at that time.
Yeah.
They were printing with government to government. That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the NDC was in power. And he was then the vice president. And he was chairing the military council and all that. So naturally, the MPP just went to town with this kind of crap. And we're hooking innocent people to believe that this was a story that was being investigated in London. But there was nothing like that. Completely. We said it severally, they wouldn't list it. That there was nothing like that being targeted at the government officials that they were banding around. But you see, well, they were still in some honeymoon and they got away with it. But we knew that whatever they were doing was virtually lies. It was just some confident tricksters who were out there trying to hoodwink innocent Ghanaians to believe that John Mahama was a corrupt person. But you see, his God is alive. You see how God has been exonerated him. It's not human beings who exonerated him. He's God. Because if you look at the kind of math they threw at him those days, up till now, clearly you get to know that he's actually a man of the moment. No man could have withstand this kind of thing. Just to tarnish your image because of how much was it? The figures they were talking about was chicken cheat. You have seen what is going on. People have opened bank accounts in their offices and their rooms. It's no more than the Airbus thing.
I see.
That's what I'm saying. Ghana here, ministers have opened bank accounts in their rooms, in their bedrooms.
Wana Samneri.
And also, so with him.
I mean,
Maminu no kita sika bebre no one in the office in the house no. Under his bed and in the wardrobe no. Sika no is no more than the Airbus.
I see.
So where they are, you see, God is with us, and God wants change for Ghana. Nyankopon na pay change you. Enye nipa. Onu na say o pay change. Manoma Ghana. That's why all these things are happening.
I see. Doc, mamenyo sha simfi oye EC one akache. One aye NDC, one Director of Election and IT Deputy. And dodo na wata wokoye internet dunu wabetse one kade most at times no a very oye stand, for want of a better word, on the EC. Bit a criticize one because you think one is maybe a war year on Kwe. From the point at EC chassis, Oboya Quenya to her, all the processes, basically last week, are those 1018 water your registration. How would you assess the EC in the entire process so far?
EC, no. See, this current EC, as it is formed, you can't sleep with your two eyes closed. When you cry, I don't know more no enye. See, this EC appears, we don't know whether we can describe it as being incompetent or deliberately being incompetent.
Why?
They fall within the two. One, either they are incompetent or deliberately incompetent. Because adwuma no mo ye no what time na hwe gra say but we no pay Ghana government is paying them huge salaries, huge contract that they've awarded for the purchase of BVDs in run out to the 2020 elections, and changing the register for 2020, and they are feeding us with this kind of crap on Ghanaians.
On your hash.
I know when they hash. If an whole electoral commission cannot add up figures, say, this one borders on national security. You don't see that. If you go to election and they declare me winner, knowing very well they didn't vote for me, they have voted, and they deny you your victory and rather give it to me. Unless only God will touch your heart, then you allow the country to be at peace. If you go to Mano River State, East Africa, all their problems sometimes is because of elections. To go and burn the whole country down, upside down, kill each other, thousands, because of elections. We don't want it in Ghana. That is why we are on the EC. Because Ghana is the most peaceful country you can find, very lovely country. What do I say? But we won't allow some individuals, because of their parochial interests, to disturb the peace of this country. And I'm saying, till you go to about 2020 elections.
Yeah.
Do you know that up till now they've not gazetted the 2020 presidential elections?
No.
Have you found out?
Gazetted it.
They've not gazetted it. Why haven't they gazetted the 2020 presidential elections?
But you go to IPAC.
We asked them several, they don't have resource. Someone need resource.
Are you telling me the EC result of 2020
I
elections?
am saying that
based on which they will declare the president.
That's the question for the goss. I don't call Gazetino. The one she gazetted was the announcement. No, announced it December 9th. No. Someone make an announcement, say, I've announced Nanadu as a validly elected president for Ghana. Only no gazette. You've gazetted, where's the figures? Figures now declare no airway.
But yen oye election mono, is that how it's done?
Yes. The CIA is very clear about that. CIA 127.
No, I'm not saying is that how it's done. Like, can you go and gazette the confirmation without
these are the two
figures?
Say announcement. You see, announcement or a gazette announcement. Now results no way. And now I'm beside won't say Oko Ghana Publishing Company.
Yeah.
Ask them that you are looking for presidential results. They don't have any. But ask them for parliamentary results. You can pick it there. On better amount. Publishing Company ha. Kobisa say we pay presidential results. 2020. They will tell you then you have to go and seek the goals in your village. They don't have.
I see.
And when I can say, because you see, this country, sometimes we don't understand ourselves. And because they got away with the 2020, they thought they are going to do the same thing for the 2024. Thank God they are dealing with different group. We have learned our lessons from the past. That is why we are on them. That make sure that you do the right thing. The last time you violated the CI 127 and got away with it. This time you won't violate. Every clause must be implemented to the letter. That is why we are criticizing every day. Because they are comparing the 2024 to 2020. And see that it won't happen this year.
What are some of the clauses that were violated here? Now you are key on them.
2020. The result says when you finish pink sheet, we fill pink sheet. Well, I'm posting every resource at the polling station. Did you see it in 2020? Not even one polling station resource was posted at every polling station. Why didn't they do it?
I don't even remember the last time result like that.
That's why I'm saying that is a criminal conduct. The law should have taken them on that. That is why they rigged the elections. Because you, the media, when they post it and every polling station, you just take your cameras and go there and add your figures yourself.
Yeah.
But they won't do it because they want to go and change the pink sheets on the way to the collation center.
Until this time, NDC by then.
I said, someone says enough. We insisted on it and they did. And we beat them to it. Because they couldn't change anything. They can't change any figure. This year, we told them and they know it. And we are very clear now. And we are happy when she went to Parliament, she announced it again that, yes, they will post the results at each polling station. And we want you, the media, to continue to be singing it that every result, presiding member, we hear results now for a polling station. the community will see
duplicate, replicate, or
Obeti baku now. So mami baku, oma MPP su baku. And yes, sir. Then you take one and put it over there. And then now take the original to the coalition center. Go and change it there. The people see their results there. Coalition center can announce different results. Not the community see their results pasted there. It's not what you are announcing there. If the country ban, Jin Mensa presiding officers will be held responsible.
It's only a one.
One, we told them. Second, and so figures in no koyeno. On say your koye registration. Yeah, limited registration. Okay. First 4 days now, figures no the babons, No wrong figures. Wow, so well, you saw it.
Yeah.
Wrong figures. Simple arithmetic. We corrected them. We saw it. The only political party in Ghana out of the 12 political parties now active, only NDC could see it. Yeah, correct, man. The following day, they brought the corrector, I apologize. And the corrector one they brought were even more fraud in it than the first one. Oh, yes. Yes, I know. We said, my boss, thank God, level-headed, Dr. Maneboma, and said, look, let's not be going on air to continue to correct these people. Let's gather all the evidence and meet them at IPAC.
Oh, I see.
Because it was becoming embarrassment for the country. Because social media, it's now the whole world.
Yeah.
People are seeing your whole common electoral commission, they can't add common figures. And yet, the algebraic expression, addition. And they can't add stations, registration centers.
Surprise. Oh, you who there? Those petty mistakes.
Mistakes, it didn't make sense to us. So we gathered the evidence, went to IPAC. They were there. And we told them, we saw a lot of mistakes in your figure. We didn't want to embarrass you more in the public. Even your figures you brought at the corrector, there were even more mistakes in it than what you corrected.
I see.
I won't say Bono is Bono more 12 constituency. Then one day you say they've registered 770 people. How can that make sense? Even one constituency could have registered more than that. So we gave them 5 constituencies figures for that day, added it together, and it was getting to almost 1,002. And see, it's 5 out of 12. So imagine you've added all the 12. How many figures were you going to get? So who was doing your additioning for you people at the commission?
Aside thinking that or mistakes, do you think that there are some motives behind it?
Well, your guess might be as good as mine.
I don't have any
because
guess.
What we are thinking is that if this simple arithmetic, somebody cannot put them together. And he's sitting there as an IT officer, an IT director. Because, well, she is taking a collateral damage because she is the boss. And yes, sir.
Yeah.
But she is not the one doing the additions. And yes, sir. Those doing it, they mess her up and mess up all the commission. And yes, sir. So we told them, you must up your business. Press conference. No, I can't say we use Coral Draw. And no, mama problem. Eja, Coral Draw. Coral Draw. Pa. They say, mommy, when I can't say mama, you say Coral Draw, you say adding figures. And yes, sir. Almost see bar chart no more, the color pictures and no more Ghana map, no more share numbers and let me say, no more see more IC. These are a group of people who are supposed to have the best of IT people. Will come with this kind of crap. That there was a time we got to know that there's something wrong with their IT department. So you saw that my boss, Omane Boama, asked that UNDP should assist Electoral Commission to check their IT systems and all that, give them capacity, because it's like there's something wrong with that department. They call IPAC, almost they've changed them and brought. Some big heads should have been ruled in, not these young people. Because what kind of, your friend will be quality assurance process. If somebody add the wrong figures to you on your decks and you are going to bring it public, won't you also take your calculator and other thing? Be very sure, do the quality assurance that these figures I'm bringing up publicly are the right figures. So why would you have to go and take the small shots, fishes and punish them? So that was the problem. We saw it. Yeah, winning now. Then we say, okay, fine enough. Since then, when we say Electoral Commission, They've never brought up daily registration figures up till now. Time when they wrong figures, no. You are a media man. Did you see any daily figure up to the 23 days? They stopped because their figures were not correct. Figures no more and then you're correct.
But if someone for daily figures number, I know you also have your people.
Yeah, we have. Yes.
Check what tally.
Yes.
If figures are brought out,
yes,
I'm an opportunity to cross check.
Yes.
If figures are not brought out, what mechanism what they
figures. Daily figures here. So many say yes, we have figures. Because if we don't have them, we couldn't have been challenging them certain things.
Yeah, but that one will cross check with easy.
Yes, cross check. Cross check.
And so far things are in order.
At that point, we're getting the figures right with them. But they were careful in bringing up publicly what they will be so that we can catch them up. But when we cross check behind the scene on them, we see that the figures were not the correct figures. But they were fearing that they don't want to bring out any figure publicly. And I was expecting the media front to force them to bring out daily figures. Why did they keep the daily figures up to 23 days? And finally, she went to Parliament and gave wrong figures to parliamentarians. August, not Parliament, can't say, register figures. When they wrong figures, and
you raise issues again.
We went to IPAC and gave it back to them. Saying your figure. And one figures. Because we say, Parliament no can't say, register 80,681,000. And you're correct. Because who come websites is here, Ghana registered voters as of 2020, 17,027,641. Who phone crowd Google, Electoral Commission. Who year registered? Total registered voters, 17,027,641. This is, nobody is contesting that figure because that was what we used to vote in 2020. And yes, sir, that figure doesn't include multiple register. It also didn't include exception list.
Okay.
Those ones are taken out before the final register is given to us. So when you give me a total register, I know that these are the people who are qualified to vote.
Yes.
What does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you call your registration 2023. I don't know you see a district assembly register no. We registration na mami jinmens oko now press conference told the whole world that at the end of the process they have registered 910,000. Tio 996. Ono na ekai
910,996.
996. Ono na ekai. These are the total registered voters for Ghana. So they've added this one to the 2020. No more you see a district assembly election. And yes, sir.
Yeah.
Simple mathematics. For our calculator, now, you would have known the total registered voters for the 2023. So Yaba say that's a year the registration 2024 limited register. With all their mistakes and other things, they refuse to tell the world the total registered people. Because we're catching them wrong figures, they kept it to themselves. Have you seen any press release or press conference where Jean Mensa or Tete or Bossman announcing that this is the total registered voters for the 2024 limited? Because they were not too sure of the figures they were going to bring out. No worry. Because they gave it adjudication committee, so many figure no. Because they told me the figure they had, and they told me it was provisional. I was ruling on that. So I said, no problem. Because the provisional one they gave us was also tallying our own figures.
Okay.
So I have no issues. So I was monitoring to see because we were still having DRRC, District Registration Review Committee, ongoing. So we're waiting for them to finish.
The plus and minuses, that will happen.
Happen, then we'll add it. Then we'll call Parliament. Or Parliament now see. I feel we 2024 limited registration or say we register 778,336. Ono na eka nyami. Ono na eka. Then she now finally says, so Ghana as of now, the total registered voters 18,681,000. And I said, Mommy, wait, who is doing mathematics for this woman?
Mm.
A simple logic. add these three variables, 2020, 2023, and 2024,
Yeah.
put them together, you are getting 18,717,000 and yes, 681,000. There's some difference there. Your own figures.
I see.
You are not adding them up. So IPAC no. And when farmer and just say NDC, we went and brought some figures to be challenging them. No, it's their own figures. Almost own figures. And say for calculator. Now, where they are called calculator.
These errors are all to go or easy one quarters no. Oma, why you a bit worried?
Yes, they should be because at IPAC no, you can't show me say from IT form. Next IPAC meeting, no one be explaining figures way, man, TRC. Because they themselves, it appeared at that point they couldn't even understand. They themselves were even worried. Say commissioners no mutina. When we asked this thing, it took them almost 20 minutes. The whole room was quiet. Diplomatic mission, foreign mission, they were all sitting there. Because it's a simple decision.
Doesn't mean that figures was more 1 year cross check. Was that a picture?
That is what we are getting. It appeared they themselves, when they just put anything on their decks, they start reading it without cross check and doing background check. Because if you do proper background check, when you say figure way in your correct, there's something wrong with the figure. You must explain, because the moment you say these total registered voters, clearly certain variables are taken out.
Yeah.
You cannot add multiple register into rate. Exception list. I won't say exception list. Nippon or move. You should take their name out for register and put it there. Or those names who are challenged. I will call it challenge, DRSs, and the challenge is successful. They will add their name to exception list. What do I say? So those ones, they don't even form part of the voter register you are given. So if you look at code book, your friend, look be a friend code book. Code book now, they've already put in figures for each polling station. And they will come in right now and give you the total registered voter for each constituency. So you will see that number you are seeing doesn't include multiple registers.
Yeah.
So if you tell me that my constituency registered 30,000, and then you come and tell me that 30,000, I'm still doing some check because maybe there are some multiple registers, they are lying, means you don't even know what you are talking about. What do I say? So we are basing our addition on their announcements.
Does it sound or NDC feel that the people at the helm of affairs were capable enough?
I say they are deliberately incapable.
They are what?
Deliberately incapable.
Mm.
You can't tell me person like Dr. Bosman Asari, a senior lecturer like that from the university with all this experience over the years. Tete is a well-experienced electionist. We've worked with him over the years. I've known him for a very long period. I know him. I know Cerebral Koko. So all these people, Madam Jean was IE director and all that. Over the period, you can't say these people are incompetent. They are deliberately incompetent. I can deliberately be incompetent.
And to what end?
That is
would they be deliberately
that is why we are finding out. That's why we are not sleeping. If somebody is deliberately incompetent, it will be difficult to correct him. Because and yes, sir. And because I know you are a very competent person. But what you are doing is telling me that you are not competent. I can't believe this. Something must be wrong somewhere. Oh, they say. And Nuna can't say changing of results. It's in electoral processes, we don't have errors. You need errors.
It's just addition.
Look, anybody who tells you that there is error, it's a deliberate error to rig election. If you catch him, he will change it. If you don't catch him, it passes. That is why Stalin made it very clear. Those who cast the vote, they don't decide anything.
It is those
who count the vote decide everything. Joseph Stalin.
Yeah.
So that was around 1920s. When the Bolshevik Revolution came and the people were looking for election, they want leaders, they don't want to vote. He told them, don't worry, you want to vote. You can vote. But somebody will do the counting. That is what we are seeing playing out in Ghana now. People have gone to register and you are giving me different figures. Oh, they are saying, Nippon will register now. And that one too, you are giving me different figures. I have to talk until you now correct it. And elections are rigged through this process. Election rigging is a process and yet event too.
Election rigging is a process.
It's a process.
It's not that D-Day.
No, D-Day. I said D-Day, no. You rig the election before you get to the D-Day.
I see.
If you are waiting for the D-Day, forget it. That's how it is. You finish cooking the process of rigging. No? Now called D-Day. So all these things they are doing, we have also learned this process. We are all singing from the same hymn book. We know the book.
And if NDC record 2020 election was rigged, it means you were not...
I've given you copious evidence of rigging the election.
You were not vigilant enough.
That is why I'm saying that
during the then process.
We overlooked certain things. Not that we overlooked certain things. What did I say? Yes, we overlooked certain things. And the evidence is very clear. For instance, some of our agents were compromised. That one there is very clear. We have seen it. Certain areas have the evidence abound where the agents were compromised. They were not at post by 1 o'clock. They left the place and they cooked figure. How can you go and do a voting at the end of the polls? Nanado will score 700 and John Mahama get 2 votes at that polling station. Does it make sense to you? Another polling station, Nanado is scoring 650. John Mahama is getting 5 votes. Does it make sense to you? That this kind of resource.
Indeed.
Until I know about 2020. Who 2020? A big region be ne pink sheet. I should have brought some for you to see it. Evident. So you mean in that community, only 2 people want NDC in the whole community, and 700 of them are for Nanado. It doesn't make sense. This kind of resource. This is a compromise resource.
Now, what process in the year do en route to election 2024? Is in the process.
No process, and I know that I say year no first no.
No, make it now. Yes. Where have we got into? Because you know they are the register.
Say mop-up register.
Yeah.
We are finished. They have to give it the provisional register. That's another problem we are having with them. Echo IPAC. No, see for CD-ROM. But my provisional register. You have 2 terabytes for mom. Up to now, they haven't given us. For 2-3 weeks, getting to 3 weeks. They are not giving.
When was the promise of?
Oh, they were to give it about 2 weeks back. Per the law, they are supposed to give it when you finish registration. You have to give us the provisional register within 3 months.
Within 3 months.
Yes. And they were trying to beat the time and said, okay, you bring her the CD-ROM. And we are getting evidence that our opponents have been given the register and they are doing profiling of voters.
No, these are...
I'm saying that, yes, we are all in the field. But they know that they were supposed to give it. If I won't mention names, but you see, we also have contacts there. I called one of their senior people. Why are you not giving us the register up to now? We agreed on this. He told me, I know they have problem with their IT department. They are now trying to sort out certain few things, and I agreed. I said, yes, I know you have IT problem, but at least, you see, we shouldn't let us be pushing each other to the field like that. Give us a thing. If there's a problem, you give us what you have. But for not giving us the register, and you want us to talk, you want us to come on air or to do a press conference to force you to give us the register.
Don't you think, so what's one way cleaning, so what's more? Now you go to find out errors in it. You are the same people who come back to them until they need to do a thorough job and sign what I'm.
I know because say, we didn't ask them to access to bring terabytes for it.
They asked.
They access. They wrote a letter to our general secretary asking that we should bring our ROMs and gave the specific
capacity.
Yes, they say 2 terabytes. We provided it. And this was going to be done within 24 hours, 40. How many hours do you take to load this figure onto the terabyte? That is the problem. Up to now, they are not giving us.
And you are alleging that your opponent, I'm
saying that they are boastfully saying it in the public there. They put it on the tablets and they are doing that. You see, we are not worried what they are doing. Because voter profile, we have started doing ours long since. About 3 weeks ago, we've been doing voter profile. And we know the dead people in the register. You see the thing we do when it comes to the exhibition. We're just telling them. If they think that they will give us the register last minute, don't come and register in 5 days to the exhibition attend this, so that we won't do it. We have already done our work behind the scene.
So because you check the names and then whether they are alive, they are dead or not traveled.
Yes, we are doing it. And we have data. As we speak now, we have data of dead people in this country. So if somebody is thinking that you can use any dead person to vote, you are lying. We will get them expunged in the register during the exhibition. We have one of the best IT team working in the department, the directorate. And they have done this fantastic job. As we speak now, the profile is going. So they are now later days and going around with tablets and saying they are checking, you are NDC, you see, we know the NPP are not good at elections. It was the Electoral Commission which has been helping them to rig the elections. With the Electoral Commission, NPP is as useless as anybody because, forgive me my words, not that useless in that thing, in terms of electoral matters. Okay. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yeah. Yes. They know it. It is when the NDC...
Now without the EC...
Oh, without the EC, NPP cannot even win the assembly election. It's the EC who has been doing this thing for them. All along, all these problems I've enumerated, have you ever heard NPP criticizing the Electoral Commission with any of their problems?
But is it not the case that they be a part of opposition, raise those issues? We've seen the table when NPP were in opposition, they were also vociferous.
No.
And you were quite about you were, a bit quiet. But NPP were vociferous.
I'm giving you figures and facts. So should we fold our arms and keep quiet with all this happening?
Of course, no.
We can't. So some will go to IPAC sometime. We laugh. They laugh, we laugh. I'll tell them, you people are given the opportunity to attack you. Because these things, if you do it right, I have no basis to talk. When you do it, when we went for the adjudication, they did very well during the adjudication. I congratulated them, asked them. And they were happy. I said, this one there, you guys, you have done well. I said, you have done well. For this adjudication, easy. I tap your back. And they were happy that I've congratulated them for that. I said, when you do the right thing, I have no problem. The first adjudication, we did it. It was perfect. But when subsequent one, you come and be doing things as if, that's why I say they are deliberately incompetent. Because I know their capacity and I know what they can do. So don't feed us what you are giving to the public. Innocent public don't understand it. These people have made Ghanaians to think that we are doing e-voting in Ghana. Elections are transmitted via something and somebody can change it. It is the behavior of the EC. When they know that is not what is happening in Ghana.
Not it. It's black and white.
It's black and white. Our election is just manual election. Manual process. Manual process. Oko to about tom printer. Na count 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we are not except for pen etro figures no good paper no. Any results now. We are for pink sheet no for collation center. The pink sheet doesn't go through phones. You hold it on a motorbike and a car. Na collation center come returning officer. Any results ni. No so now so results no. Then we add all these things and say you have won, that's all. Ye transmission bia electronic bia na results bia now be results no. And then you are
there's no electronic transmission.
There's nothing like that. They put this one out there to confuse you, and then they are behind the scene changing the figures on the pink sheet. Then you are running to IT thing, and then you be IT bia. I was also like one control is 700. Nanado now John Mama 2 votes. Imagine 3 police stations, 700.
So what are those scanners used for?
Scanners we are no use them. Or no use no for official use. The only thing electronic we are no use regional coalition site and resource no from your region to Accra. Or no use fax.
Okay.
Our fax no cry. One fax resource now. It's the same thing. Okay. Or they just scan it, the pink sheet, and send it to the collation center. That's the highest EC number.
During the registration, no what issues kakra with or Richard Ahangba registration. How far is it?
We asked them at IPAC. They say they are doing investigation. We should give them time. They will come out with a report. We are waiting for their report. It was one of the most illegal activity that has ever happened in this country. Somebody whose name is not in the register was allowed to vote. That was complete. Look, the person who presided that, and all of them should have been sleeping in Sawam. And the officer who helped that perpetrate that criminal act should also be arrested. Because the moment your name is not in the register, you can't vote. You can be holding an ID card. But if your name is not in the register, you can't vote.
Yeah.
That's the law.
But he voted.
They used pen and inserted his name. That's why I say we slept on certain things. Because me, if I was a party agent at that place, over my dead body, he won't vote. Which law are you allowing him to vote? I'm holding the register. You, the presiding officer, you're also holding the register. Tell me his name. Where is his name? Which barcode were you going to scan? I will say, Oba, there's this in QR code.
Yeah, from your
the QR
card.
code. they will scan it on the register. And your information is picked on the BVD. Before you are now verified.
Verify it.
This thing is not there. So how did that person go to vote? That's the question for the gods. Only in Ghana you see this thing happening. And people are still sitting there and calling themselves election officers, election what and what. And they have the audacity to go and be talking rubbish. These are the problems we are having in Ghana. We ask them. They say they are bringing the report. We are waiting for their report. But I can tell you, this current EC, they are chewing more than they can bite because they don't know that this NDC want free, fair, transparent election. We have told them several that we will support you to have free, fair, transparent election. But we want to have a level playing grounds. Level playing ground. Don't muddy the waters. Register, no. Register is the first step to having free and fair. Now we are having problem with your register. A sick register is sick. It's not fit for purpose. Until it is audited, this register cannot be used for election. This register cannot be used.
Audited.
Yes, we told them.
That's why you. I remember your boss made that.
Yes, he made it very clear.
Request,
and look, he has the support of the party leadership. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama gives him all 100% support on that, because we have given them enough evidence. About last year assembly election. Do you know that almost 26,000 people could not vote because their names were not in the register? Okita card or on say on the dini. How? Me too about 2020. Me saba to assembly election see me dini. When we queried them about, do you know what they said?
No.
That their IT, there was a problem with some software and they were doing, so when they were printing the final thing, some people name inadvertently went out. Almost throw internal memo, almost district, a regional director say they should gather all those missing names. We intercepted it. So when I mentioned it at the IPAC, they say, how did I get? I say, I intercepted it. Don't ask me how I got your internal memo. It was written by you people. When you were denying publicly that no missing names and other things, but you secretly behind were asking that you should bring them and you put them back. Yeah, IPAC meeting. One more country say those missing names, they have brought them back. Tio, that all of them have been inserted back. So they should go and check during exhibition to be sure that this time, this is the issue we are dealing with. So when you are hearing them outside, they are doing different inside. So that is why we are saying we are not attacking their credibility. They are fine people, fine gentlemen there, highly educated people. I respect them on that. That's why I use the word deliberately what? Incompetent.
Live on Onua 95.1 megahertz. Jumezini ya paimuka. Opena music komo ye Dr. Rashid Tanko-Computer, Onua Deputy Director of Elections and IT Ozuma, the National Democratic Congress NDC. Now, and you go deep into the activities of EC and then the NDC. So far, Doc, would you say NDC getting back to IPAC, Ozumbuake Cesabre, yen electoral process now?
Even the EC, Madam Jean Mensah said, our coming back to IPAC has helped them a lot. I say, IEA meeting or Peace Council and other political parties, stakeholders. She said it publicly. And she was congratulating NDC for the input, the criticisms, and the constructive arguments that we brought to IPAC. And they are enjoying it. We are shaping the destiny of our democracy.
And NDC, so what benefit for going back to IPAC?
The NDC is rather benefiting from it.
You think so?
I am telling you, if we're not an IPAC, this country would have been in flame any moment from now. I'm telling you, if the NDC was not attending IPAC, this country would have been in flame. Because they think no more. We had to stop them in certain things from going ahead with certain things and give them superior argument that what you are going to do is against the law. You are not going to do it this way. This is how it's supposed to be done. We'll argue and finally we'll come back and agree that what we are saying is the right thing. We'll go by it. So imagine we're not at IPAC.
So if you were not at IPAC, you can your opportunity to make those arguments. It would have gone against you as a party.
And against the country too, because we won't take that nonsense. We're not going to accept it. They think they got away with 2020. They are trying to do that. We won't accept it. When they brought that issue of saying our party agents should not go for the to observe the registration, you saw how we brush it aside. You saw that positive defiance. You can't just get up and come out with issues that has nothing to do with the CI. We won't accept it.
But if you talk about that the CI permits parties to observe.
Yes.
They do.
At that point, in terms of transfer, the law is silent. If the law is silent, you don't choose you don't choose opacity. Electoral
if the law is silent, you don't choose opacity.
You choose transparency.
Okay.
We told them, look at your motto. You're using transparency there. So if the law is silent, you go and choose opacity. You want to go and hide yourself in the room and cover up and be doing transfers so that nobody know. At the end, you come and give me total number of transfer people in there. Who accept this? So I should fold my arm. When I've read how to rig elections severally, I'm telling you, I've read it severally. I've read the master's thesis on Caesar's book on how to rig elections. And you think that I didn't read it just to put it in my head. I read it in order to implement it. And so I know you have also read it and you started implementing it. You think I should allow you. I know all the way I said we are all singing from the same hymn book. The book that they read and they are implementing, we've read it. And so they shouldn't think that what they are doing, we don't know.
Okay, but you move away from the digital system and all those numbers with election, the bread and butter oil issue. NDC is so confident they will win election. What exactly? Why? Because you are the same NDC. People knew you. You were the same NDC. The same John Dramani Mahama, Ghana for rejected. So what is new?
They rejected John Dramani Mahama because of the sweet, confident tricksters. One district, one factory. At that time, 200 and something districts. So people were expecting moving factories. And yes, sir. That time when you hear factories, it's not a small hamlet, not some small hand cook that you go and put somewhere. They were expecting the huge factories you have in Tema and Accra. That is what they made Ghanaians to believe. One village, one dam. You see, my people, I was in up north about 3 days ago. I went through Savannah, northern region, upper east, upper west, northeast. My brother, if you travel there, you cry for them. Wilted plants. The rains are not falling. This thing is hitting them hard. Look, I'm not surprised my people are praying to God to bring the rains. If the rain doesn't come within 2 weeks, then we should start looking for food somewhere. I'm telling you, it's terrible. The plants are all wilted. Because these people told them lies that they were going to provide a one dam, one village for the area. Go there, you won't see even one, not even one dugout is there. When we're telling them the truth, they fall for the confident tricksters' lies.
What truth or what would NDC do differently?
Differently, we have.
In this situation.
We have enough to tell them. We have given them. Look, we're doing dams for them, but we didn't call them one village, one dam. Irrigation dams. As we speak now, go to Sakwe. There's a community in if you go to Tamale, going to Yendi, there's a huge river there. Now, people are even going there for their water to drink. It was done by John Dramani. We didn't say one village, one dam. All the communities there, they come there to fetch the water to go and even irrigate their distance. Are you getting it? We have track record in those things.
John Dramani Mahama mentioned Palugu multipurpose dam severally. It didn't happen, so you had to go.
At that point, don't forget, we didn't go to cut any sort to say we're building any dam there. We never did that. It's a process. The feasibility study was done. We're looking for fundings and other things to be sure of how it is going to be done. These people came with their populist character. $11 million dump into their pockets. Go there. I passed there yesterday. When I was coming to take flight back, I passed there. And I was telling my colleague from Accra who went with me, my boss, I said, you see the dump? This is what these people have come, $11 million. He nearly removed his head. I said, this is what they have done to Ghana. and they are there telling Ghana they should vote them back again. $11 million. Not even a block is there over there. That is the group we are dealing with. So Ghanaians have come to see them, and they realize that, look, John Dramani Mahama should have even been allowed to rule for more than 20 years. I'm telling you.
More than 20 years?
I say they should have, because they are seeing what the man told them. It has come back to play. It's playing on their faces. The development paradigm that Ghana was enjoying under his period, trying to change the face of our development, the structure of the economy, the process that was leading to that. We're not interested. One village, one dam, one district, one factory, $1 million, one constituency. Imagine your constituency was going to get $4 million in 4 years.
4 years.
Do you know the kind of development your constituency would have gone through?
But waka trend there. I don't know what that's a coastal development authority, middle belt. You know what they are projecting.
Now, coastal, they are just white elephants sitting there. What have they done? They ended up putting up small toilets around. They have time to even commission those small toilets. Is that not what they were doing over the place? And we are saying that, look, we are coming out with this 24 economy in order to reset the country. Because our problem is such that we cannot use 8-hour economy to reset this country. They have destroyed the economy to the extent that if you also run 8-hour economy, we can't reset the country. We need to run a 24-hour economy. That is 3 hour, 8 hour, 8 hour, 8 hour, 3 times. Some of us have traveled outside before, and we have seen how they do it. Look, you live here, you go and pick another job somewhere. By 5, you go and pick another job. Yeah. It will carry you to somewhere midnight. If you know you are there to hustle, you won't even sleep. You go for another job. Because they are running 24 economy. The economy doesn't sleep.
8 hour shift.
8 hour shift. It doesn't sleep. Look at the large unemployment. It's getting 15% unemployed youth in the country. They come up from the university. The university is chaining them out every day. They are after national service. Do you know that these people are even saying they are cancelling national service?
They said voluntary. Voluntary.
They say they are cancelling.
They said voluntary.
Voluntary. They don't now want it. It's not going. If you are saying national service, then remove the national and just leave it voluntary service. Then we know it's not national. Because if it is national service, which country does that? The person is just coming from university, inexperienced. Give him some 1 year experience in the field before, so they have a hands on the psychomotor skills on the job. You are saying you want to make it voluntary. You want to make it voluntary for these people. And I'm saying that we will not go that path. We are launching the youth manifesto.
Yes.
On the 12th. Next week. You will see, we've already teased out the areas that we are going to have youth development ministry, specifically for youth. Because of the huge unemployment problem, if you don't target the ministry.
The candidates, Amayata said there, will reduce ministers.
Yes.
Now, create another youth development ministry, then
we'll collapse some ministers and do that. What do you need? Is there sanitation ministry? What is it for? What is the use of that? Just to go and milk money and put in their rooms? We'll collapse it. You used to have development, a minister for development or what they call it. We'll collapse those ministers. A railway. Why do you have a minister of railway? What is the use? We'll collapse them. There are a lot of ministry. We'll collapse them together. Some ministry, look, they are just agencies. They're not supposed to be ministries.
I see.
Yes, he said it. Point blank. If you have the transport, roads and transports, why do you go to have aviation ministry or railway and all that? What is it for? Go and see. How can you have Minister of Agri-Food and Agriculture and you have Minister of Fisheries? Is fisheries not part of agriculture? When you learn agric in secondary school,
of course,
did they go and put another course differently from this thing? This is what we are doing to ourselves as a country. We'll collapse them back to agri. Then you have one minister there. So that 60 ministers, you say, he is a former president who knows what he's talking about. We have departments, we have agencies, directorates that will take care of certain things that you call ministers. You don't need them to be ministers.
Back to the 24-hour economy. Do we have, because if you think through it, on Yesika Kakraba, it has to do with infrastructure, it has to do with building human capacity, it has to even do with, look at the number of the peace officers you need on the street, because late in the night, people would have to go to work. So you need to increase the numbers of police personnel.
Yes.
Do we have the money? As a nation, your capacity? Because We are told that Woba, you are hitting the ground running. We are turning into 24 economy.
Yes.
Do we have the capacity? Because once upon a time, you criticize someone for telling Ghanaians that me best free SHSRC. You said it should be gradual because do we have the capacity?
The capacity is there. We have it. I'm telling you, we have the capacity. Go to DVLA. By 4 to 5, they start locking their offices. People are holding their forms and documents to come and register their car, renew their road wages and all that. They'll tell them they are going home. Do you know the income Ghana is losing at that point? From that point up to the following day.
And from that point up to the following day, we have the numbers that can pay for salaries.
That's what I'm saying, that as they come and do, Ghana is getting more income. If you get more income, you can employ more. You are losing income because these people are going to sleep. Go to Temahabo, Takoradi Habo. People want to clear their goods in the night and other things, pay all these things and that. You are losing revenue because your people are sleeping. Your economy is sleeping. And where are you going to get the money? Because you get the money from the taxes and the revenues. And yes, sir. So you need them. You need more hands so that people will come and transact business with government and you get more money to pay them. This is a simple economic theory. But you don't have. You are losing it to, instead of you to capture that, you go and create nebulous ministries, agencies. You go and employ a CEO and have 6 deputy CEOs. Milking the already small money that you have. And the youth are suffering in the street. That is what Ghana has reached. That is why we say we'll collapse it. We'll collapse those ministries, those by hard ministries, those by hard agencies. That doesn't make sense to anybody. We'll collapse all of them.
And you render those people unemployed.
No, redeployment.
You redeploy them.
That is it. To where their services are much needed. That's how you do it. You redeploy them to where their services are much needed. Rather than them. So you see that more employment is coming. As we employ more, we get more revenue. Because the people who can now are free to work, and then people can transact business. Look, for instance, you are here. You are busy doing work here. You close by 5, 6. You want to go and do some transaction, and they tell you government offices are locked. Everybody's gone home. They are running to their homes. Who does that? When you go to abroad, is that what they do? That is the problem. And so this is one of the master strokes that is going to reset the country. And then I sit down and be talking that you are not explaining the 24 hours. Because I can't explain to a dead brain. How can you explain to somebody's brain which is dead? You don't understand that Ghana economy is 8 hours. We close at 5.
No, but if someone doesn't understand
I'm saying that
better
the better thing is that
does it mean
if somebody is a dead brain, if I say somebody is deliberately incompetent, he's competent too, but he's deliberate, creating the incompetent for himself. You know that this country economy is run on 8 hours economy. Is that not true? And we are saying that after 5 p.m., another batch will come and take over from you in your office. Don't close the office and go and sleep and think that somebody cannot come there and transact business. Don't close it. You go and rest. Another person is taking over. He's going to work up to midnight. And this one you don't understand. You want me to go and bring rocket scientists to explain to you? It's a simple one. You are leaving home to go and see your family. Somebody's taking over your chair here. Even you do it here, shift here. Onua FM, TV, you do it here. When you finish your program, somebody will leave you. And yes, you continue working. That is what we are bringing back. And you are saying that public and private sector who want to go it, will reduce taxes for them when they are running the evening one. We will make sure that their electricity bills are segmented in such a way that they can pay less and employ more.
What happens to an organization that shifting activity into the night, day on year?
Look, that one will even help us. Shift it there. You will get more money from you because you get more people to employ. And yes, sir.
No, knowing well that if I'm doing the first 8 hours of the day, my electricity is so and so kilowatt.
That's why I say graduated and segmented. It's going to be graduated and segmented in such a way that we take care of your revenues and how much you pay for your electricity bill, so that in order to help you to break even in whatever you are doing.
No,
we have the experts.
Point I'm raising there. Fanda me company may run from morning
to 5.
And I mean, who don't know what the 24 hours banty.
So
I would not even want to run the morning because I want to go and enjoy the benefit.
Then you are not running 24 economy because you must run the first one
before you qualify.
Run the second one and the third one before you are qualified. It doesn't mean that you start sleeping in from morning up to 5 and say in the night you come in. Then you are not running 24 economy. So that's what we are saying. We have all these details worked out. And it's perfect. That's why TUC accepted all the business people, Guta, they all accepted and I said, no, this is a master stroke. It's not like the 1 CD mobile phone thing. Have you ever seen that thing before? Which business man would ever think of selling a mobile phone which is 15,000 to you for 1 CD?
Waba explained that it was an analogy he was making.
That analogy. But
the crux is that, I mean, now, on high pitches, government would want to make things easy in that way. Is there something wrong?
Which high pitches?
As we speak today, people, I mean, your agency said, pay slip qua. One more,
that's what I'm saying.
High pitches.
That's what I'm saying. That we have been there before. I've been a graduate teacher for a very long time. We started NAGRAD. I was the pioneer of NAGRAD in Ghana. Even at the time when they took our salaries away in 2007, because we went on strike and another thing, NAGRAD people. That team has been there. We've been doing what is called high pitches. But I'm telling you, high pitches, before they sell an item to you, they look at your salary. Your threshold that you can pay monthly. And they will give you the number of years. When they spread this, you should be able to pay.
And they will look at it. I want to.
And I'm saying that this one, a mobile phone that is costing 15,000, even granted, let's take the cheapest one, 1,000 cedis. 1,000 cedis. I don't say cheapest for Android that you can get 1,000 cedis.
So maybe you didn't get the figures right. But the concept.
They see, you don't bring a concept like that to hook Wingara when you use the same thing in 2016 and got yourself to presidency. Now people have gotten past all these tricks. So instead of when they announced it quickly, they just took their distance and start calculating. And they see that, this one there, 419. It won't happen. As I sit here, I've crossed some age. Okay, getting to 50s, cross 50, going to 60, right? Then I'll go and buy mobile phone, 15,000, say 11 cedis. You know the age I will use to pay it. I know what I mean. I need almost 120 years to pay that. It doesn't make sense. So you see, they are struggling. And I'm saying that when John Mahama is coming out with superior agreement, policies, strategies to reset the country, I know my good brothers in the NPP, they are struggling because things are hard for them. Things are hard. It's all that my good brother, he has to apologize to Ghanaians for this DDEP thing that they did. But unfortunately, he didn't cause the mess. We are only granting amnesty for him. It's my brother. He didn't cause the mess, but he has to apologize.
Doc Yemfensi, 2 minutes to 4 p.m. It's been insightful. I wish we can have him more often here. Now you build on the conversation. Dr. Rashid Tanko-Computer, Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the biggest opposition party in Ghana, the National...
To form the government in 4 months'
Democratic.
In 4 months' time, we are forming government.
I hear.
Oh, yes, I assure you. I'm going to give you a prophecy.
Okay.
11 p.m., December 7th, you see that John Mahama is declared winner.
When I call you, pick it.
Oh, my phone, I use one number. I don't sleep with my phone. Silent. It's sounding. Anytime you call me, you hear it. 11 p.m., I'm giving you. Put it, mark it there. 11 p.m., John Mahama will be declared winner. If you don't have a white handkerchief, start buying. Because we are prepared for it.
I see.
If you work for victory, if you don't work for it, you won't get it. And I can show you that we are working towards it. And we are sure in our mind that quarter, if you don't get 54%, we'll get.
54%.
Oh, yes. If Baumia get 40%, he has tried.
Anyway.
Yes.
Well, from a Henry Eliud Yankee, it's been an exciting edition of Paimuka. Metina Mazma regular host. Yeah. Titi Okra. Me found us from the Thai production team.
Onua 95.1 FM. Yeah, Junimo.